Hey parents. All right, so yesterday in middle school, we wrapped up our series called On Repeat. And the idea in this series is really pretty simple, that if we want to love other people well, all we have to do is look at Jesus and look at how he loved other people and simply repeat that. So the big idea yesterday is that Jesus, he cares for people. And when we talk about caring, what we're talking about is, one, allowing ourselves to be moved by someone else's situation, allowing ourselves to become angry when we see injustice, allowing ourselves to hurt with somebody or be saddened by somebody else's situation. And I think it's really easy in our day and age where there's just so much information and we're constantly exposed to so much of the world's hurt and suffering. It's really easy for us to become numb to that. But Jesus, he calls us to care for people in that way, to allow ourselves to be moved. But caring is not just about a feeling or about an emotion, it's about taking action on that feeling. And so we saw this illustrated really well in the story in Mark chapter 1 where Jesus heals a leprous man. This man comes to Jesus and he asks him a really interesting question. He says, "Will you make me clean, or will you cleanse me?" Now you would think he would just say, "Will you heal me?" But of course, what this man is asking for is more than just physical healing. He's asking for his life to be set right, because as a leper, he's been cast out, he's been ostracized from everybody he knew, and his life has basically been over. He's kind of been put in this prison that they call a leper colony. And so he's asking Jesus for his life back. And when he does this, it's really interesting what Mark says. He says, Jesus became indignant. See, Jesus was angry. He was frustrated about the situation that this guy found himself in. And so Jesus, as he's moved, what does he do? He takes action. There's this really interesting detail in there where it says Jesus reached out and he touched the man. But if you read in the Greek, it's not like he just was like, poke. No, Jesus reached out and he grabbed this man, or he seized the man tightly. And obviously, that's something you should never do to a leper. But Jesus wanted to say to him, you are no longer alone. I care, I see you, and I am here for you. So, yesterday we encouraged middle schoolers to think about who are the people you can be caring for. Who in your life has been treated poorly? Who in your life is in a situation that is just really bad? And what can you do to show them love? How can you take action in their life? And we got a little specific yesterday because I think in middle school, you see a lot of this. You see a lot of kids who have kind of fallen on the outside in the shuffle of middle school and popularity and gossip and bullying and all of these things just going on. Sometimes there's these kids that just find themselves left out for whatever reason, and usually we have no idea what is going on in their lives to get them to that point. But our encouragement to students was, who in your life do you know who needs to be cared for? And probably it's somebody who is kind of down and out, somebody who is on the outside. And then simply, what can you do to care for them? And so let me encourage you, as always, to keep this conversation going at home this week. And one way I think you can do that is by sharing with your students, what do you care about? What thing that is wrong in the world or thing that is not as God had designed it to be, what moves you? What makes you indignant? What makes you angry? What moves you to sadness or frustration? And what do you do about it in your life? So let me encourage you, again, to share that with your students this week. Yesterday in high school, we wrapped up our series, Love Does, based on the book by Bob Goff, Love Does. And the idea of yesterday's lesson was really simple. It was to do love. It was this idea that, sometimes we think in our life that we got to get every detail right. We have to have every piece figured out. We want the whole thing mapped out. But, that's not how Jesus works. God rarely tells us the whole plan. But what he does do is he gives us the next right step. And so often for us as followers of Jesus, all we need to do is take the next right step. Do the next most loving thing. And so the challenge for our high schoolers yesterday was simply to be thinking about, what is the next thing God is calling you to do to love those around you? Hey, just one quick reminder before we go. There is no middle school next Sunday morning, as it is the first Sunday of the month, but we will have a big night that following Wednesday. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday is our December big night. So we hope to see everybody there. That is it for today. We hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving together.